Hello and welcome to the Sands of Time review channel. It is your host Sammy Thunder. I'm back at it once again with another one of my Watch Express episodes, and today I'm here to talk about the brand new release from Grand Seiko, the SLGH013. As you can see here, it is another 44GS release. Not really about the 55th anniversary edition, and it is also mainstay in the Grand Seiko Heritage lineup. It's great to see a watch from Grand Seiko that is actually not limited, watch that you can actually look towards getting in the near future, which is great. Not only that, this watch actually is made from ever brilliant steel, so the case and bracelet are all made from the ever brilliant steel alloy. And it also features the brand new 9SA5 high beat movement that beats around 36,000 beats per hour with an 80 hours of power reserve. Basic specs out of the way. It features a 40mm diameter, 47.2mm lug to lug, and a thickness of 11.7. Lower thickness because of the new 9SA5 movement. Lug width, typical Grand Seiko fashion, 19mm. 9SA5 as stated before. Screw down crown with 100 meters of water resistance. It comes in at a price of 14,200 Australian dollars. Now, I'm going to go through this watch and maybe just show what this watch actually looks like in the flesh. And as we can see here, this is the watch, and the dial itself actually kind of reminds me a little bit of the Grand Seiko Lion dial. I do notice some subtle differences between the new, I'd say with this new watch here, or the dial here that we observe, and also let's say the Grand Seiko Seasons collection. It looks different. The texture is a bit different, so I'd say it resembles the Lion a bit more, but I do notice a distinct difference, at least in the texture. So you got that kind of icy blue texture. It's meant to be inspired by Mount Iwate. I know there's already a watch from the brand in 44GS in a high beat about Mount Iwate, but this is with the new 9SA5 movement. I think it looks great. Features your typical Grand Seiko dial set, thermally blued second hand, so seeing that 36,000 beat per hour, seeing the 10 beats per second tick rate is going to be great with thermally blued second hand, especially with the 44GS case. This is the watch, what you'd observe in the flesh. I mean, it features ever brilliant steel, and I actually owned a watch with ever brilliant steel. It's actually, this ever brilliant steel first debuted within the Seiko brand, and I owned it through the 62 MAS reissue. And I thought, with ever brilliant steel, what I've noticed is that it is a much more brighter metal, and that's something that Grand Seiko can take advantage of because they use Zaratsu polishing. So having your solid surfaces in ever brilliant steel, I mean, that would look phenomenal. So it's not just the case, it's also the bracelet with the ever brilliant steel alloy. The watch itself actually looks quite similar to a watch I own. It is actually the SBGP017, the Sea of Clouds, that actually features the 9F85 movement, which is Grand Seiko's highest end quartz caliber. So I'm actually kind of happy that I own the SBGP017 because, it's a great looking watch, and I think this is a great looking watch here, and it's mainstay within the collection. You have the option of, getting a horology piece from Grand Seiko that isn't actually limited, and it features the ever brilliant steel, which is great. Historically, based on the 44GS case, it is a phenomenal case. One, let's say, downside of the 44GS case, I'd say, is it features, I guess, with 44GS, owning a 44GS case and owning watches that have very high polished surfaces, you're going to notice any kind of scratch on it. So if you're someone that's not particularly fond of scratches, you might not want to own this watch. But in my opinion, personal opinion, I think when you do own, let's say Grand Seikos or watches with high polish, you buy watches to wear them, and it doesn't really affect the finishing of the watch. It's Zaratsu polish at the end of the day. You'll just notice some wear marks. So the hairline scratches you'll definitely notice in certain lights. In most lights, these slabs appear black, or it's just reflecting whatever it can. It's such a great looking watch. Another subtle difference actually is that this features a boxed sapphire crystal, which is great. I'd like to actually observe these 44GS cases with a boxed sapphire crystal, because I think it would bring about the vintage vibe even more compared to the the current models. So it's great to see what Grand Seiko is doing. But yeah, this is the watch, and the dial itself is an icy blue. It actually has a hint of purple just from my own observation, but it is an icy blue. It really looks like a frozen lake, really, more than looks like actual ice, which is great. So Grand Seiko with their nature inspired dials and the stories behind them, sometimes it can be a bit exaggerated, but in recent past times, I mean, I think the Sea of Clouds, for example, actually reminds me of the clouds. It actually looks like the clouds, and the watch itself features this 9S A5 movement. I think it is not many people speak about it, but it is a great movement. And just to go through the movement, I'd like to go through this video, and it just showcases you what you get. So you're getting a dual mainspring, so double barrel mainspring that allows you to get the 80 hours of power reserve, which is just great. You then have this new dual impulse escapement. Everything's in-house designed and manufactured by Grand Seiko, and this is what you see here. I mean, it's gone through this stuff, and this is horology, what we're seeing here from the brand, and it's this is why you're paying $14,000. And as we go through, we got the free sprung balance, which has the screwed. It's a screwed balance as well, so it's regulated also through the screw. And this is the high beat movement in the working. I mean, it's at the end of the day, what you got to realize is that it is an 80-hour power reserve, beautifully decorated movement. That's high beat. You have your balance bridge, excellent decoration. It's not copying the Swiss in terms of movement decorations. You do get your anglage, Grand Seiko's anglage. You do get your Tokyo striping. You have the jewels, which look phenomenal. You got these golden screws, got the balance bridge, got the free sprung balance, dual impulse mechanism, double barrel. I mean, it's horology. It's a great looking movement. One thing I will say about this movement is that a lot of people have observed that their movement runs out of the specification. So out of the mean daily rate of +5 to -3, people observe maybe +8, +12. And in my opinion, I think, if you're spending $14,000, if you're someone that's actually interested in accuracy, this might not be the best choice for yourself. Just based on observation, I'm not sure what Grand Seiko was doing to tackle this issue, but $14,000, if you're someone that really wants accuracy, you'd probably have to look at another watch or brand. You'd probably look at Spring Drive at this point as well. So, but these kind of inaccuracies do happen even in horology, even more expensive watches. So if you can understand that, but if you're someone that's interested in accuracy, yes, you look at a different brand, or Spring Drive or Quartz from Grand Seiko, or if you're interested in mechanical movements, you'd probably look at a different brand. But apart from that, I think this is it's a great watch. I mean, and the most important thing is that it's actually mainstay, and you got that thermally blued seconds hand, which just high beat, just gliding through the dial. It's great to see from the brand to have an ever brilliant steel case and bracelet. So these are my thoughts on the new SLGH013. Let me know what you guys think down below in the comment section. Like, dislike, and subscribe. Thanks for watching. Peace.